Hey there, y'all. I am Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, where Monday night you're going to get the best goddamn cocktails and conversation on this side of YouTube. Cheers, y'all. Thanks for joining me tonight. Hanging out behind the camera, pushing all the buttons, would be none other than David, the producer.
I'm just buzzing in my chair. Buzzing in my chair.
I know you've gotten some pretty exciting news tonight.
Huge
news. Huge, exciting news for David, the producer. Do we reveal it now or do we wait?
Well, let's say hi to everyone in the chat first, and then we'll reveal the news. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, Wheels gets the gold star tonight for being first in the chat. So here's to you. I saw Ginger here, Charles Ashworth, Donner Pass Whiskey, Bob's Adventure. Am I missing anyone?
Charles Ashworth?
And Whiskey Crusaders are here as well.
Oh, Will's here.
Yeah, woohoo. I love it. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Our conversation topic will be sick and twisted. Oof. So we're going to be diving down into all of our darkest pleasures, whether it's a dark sense of humor, fantasies, an obsession with gore, but it's all in good fun. So although I might tell you I fantasize about stabbing people and really kind of get off on it,
and you do.
I promise you, I'm not going to do it.
Until the cameras go off.
Right, until we're no longer live. And I think before we get to our news, I want to talk about what I'm drinking. Because seriously, y'all, for cocktails tonight, I have Uncle Nearest 1856. I love this stuff so hardcore. So this is their middle of the road release, although there's nothing middle of the road about this. It's so good. It's Tennessee whiskey. It's 100 proof. And this is a blend of 8 and 14-year whiskeys. So it's super smooth. You know, that maple charcoal filtration thing that they do down there in Tennessee. It gives it this really nice, smooth flavor without being too sweet. And it's got a really nice little bit of caramel to it. It's got a little bit of spice. It's so easy to drink. And I think David, the producer, has a glass of it back there too, doesn't he?
I do, and I'm enjoying it. And as you can tell by how much is out of the bottle there, that we've kind of dipped into it a little bit.
Yeah, we've definitely been enjoying this. It's kind of the perfect whiskey. I'm not normally a Tennessee whiskey fan. For me, that whole charcoal thing doesn't always work out to its benefit, but with this one, it couldn't be better. So tasty.
And how much is it for a bottle? I forgot.
You know, it varies from place to place. I'm pretty sure the MSRP is right around like 45 or 50 bucks. And we were able to get this one for 50-ish. So definitely right in a sweet spot. Really good value.
Sweet.
I see that Ginger is saying she had a little too much last night. Somebody was drinking Knob Creek rye whiskey, and she's feeling the pain today. That's too bad, Ginger.
For a Monday. Pace yourself, Ginger. Well, pace yourself.
You know, the problem is that you stop drinking.
Right. That is a big problem.
You're supposed to just keep drinking. This is how it works. Blended Whiskey has joined us. WSPTV is here. Patrick Fulmer is here. So cheers, y'all. Thanks for joining us. We do have a little bit of exciting news.
Have a lot of exciting news. I am, like I said, I'm buzzing in my seat here. This is a good day. So we have two cool interviews coming up, both on Friday and on Saturday. So we have Fee Waybill Friday nights.
From the Tubes.
From the band The Tubes. And he's going to be on Friday night on my channel. That's David, the producer channel. And on Saturday, we have John Anderson, who is the Hall of Famer and lead singer for the band Yes on Saturday.
Yeah, so we're breaking out some of our musician friends for a couple of really cool live interviews that we'll be doing. And what David didn't tell you is that there's going to be a special guest joining us on top of John Anderson.
That's right. Saturday. We have another rock and roll legend that's coming on Saturday with him that we're not announcing because we want to keep it a secret.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So y'all look for the David the Producer YouTube channel. It's kind of like the speakeasy of YouTube.
Meaning no one knows about it?
Just give it the secret knock on the door and come on in, and you'll meet some of our cool musician friends.
Well, we've had actors and other people on too.
True, we have, and comedians.
And comedians, that's right. We just had Bill Schultz and Joanne Nosachinsky
from Compound
that's
Media.
Such a hard name to say. We had Gina Bisconti on, and we had Eric Roberts, the actor from
Everything.
I mean, the guy's got, oh my God, his
resume is like a million
is
miles
unbelievable.
long.
Yeah.
I don't think IMDb can keep up with him. Now, I want to say something else. So if you watched last week, I was wearing sunglasses. My eye is injured. It's healing up. It's way better. But if it looks like I'm crying or winking at you, I swear to God, I'm not flirting. It's just my eye is all like weepy, and these studio lights are still kind of killing it.
Can I call you Blinky?
You cannot call me Blinky.
I think Blinky is perfect.
Speaking of sick and twisted, David the Producer, and your snappy little joke last week.
Oh, that was my favorite. Hey, by the way, we have a new sponsor. Let me show you.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time, and we're still paying.
Sound familiar? If it does, I have great news for you. The Reassurance Dental Card is now available in your area.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the new phrase I learned? Oh, yeah. Eat a dick.
And there you go.
Yeah, so that's the last y'all are going to be seeing of that, because David the Producer is
I am retiring that, yes.
He's walking with a limp now, thanks to that commercial.
You're not incorrect on that.
Yes, Ginger, David's really wanting to get stabbed. And no, he did not love the couch. So I see Charles Ashworth is drinking some Michter's tonight. That's fantastic. I love Michter's. They can do no wrong.
Michter's is pretty awesome. I do like them too.
It's harder to find down here for some reason. It's so odd, the variation in availability of different bourbons and whiskeys versus where we were in when we lived in Chicago, and here we are down in New Orleans. More things are readily available, but it's weird, the things that we can't find. Like, you would have thought we could find larceny super easy, but no, apparently it's like
I had to special order it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Well, we had to special order it until we found the new Total Wine that was open up down here.
Oh, yes. Glorious Total Wine. The glorious superstore of liquor down here in the South. I'm loving that. So
I'm digging that place. That place is so cool. And they have great wine selections. So, I know that you're a bourbon gal, but man, oh man, I will take that wine selection every day there.
You are definitely turning into a bit of a wino.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. There's cork that runs through my veins.
Ew.
I say cork.
Ew. So what do you say we talk a little bit about the hashtag before we kick things off tonight? Hashtag Bourbon Soak Live is our little getting to know you routine. So what y'all do, snap a photo of yourself watching the show, or of what you're drinking, or if you're fancy like Ginger, you can make some super cool memes and post it to Twitter so that we can feature it on the show. And I believe we have a couple hanging out in the Twitterverse that we need to show left over from last week.
Oh, yeah. Hold, please.
Holding.
Hold on. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put this other background on. See, that's the thing about StreamYard is that it's not real. So I got to push a lot of buttons.
You got a lot of shit going on.
I know. It's like NASA back here.
Oh, poor belabored David, the producer, has a hard time pushing buttons.
Oh, I'm going to start pushing your buttons. Don't you worry.
So our first meme of the night comes from Ginger. She made it last week. And it's exactly what I did to David the producer after he played that fucking commercial I was in.
That I had a blast last week. And that was one of the funnest episodes I think we've ever done, only because I laughed my balls off watching it again.
Well, me had to sit here and be the butt of all your jokes. So thank you for that. That was delightful.
That's my point.
And I believe we have something from Blended Whiskey in here as well, don't we? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Seriously, Blended Whiskey, you have the life. He is drinking fancy wine and eating caviar.
That right there, that's rock and roll.
What the fuck?
I love that.
Y'all are awesome. I hate you and I love you at the same time.
Caviar and wine, and a really super solid wine as well. You know, the Cabernet Sauvignon is. I looked that up. The Dio, I think it's. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mayapo or something Valley. I don't know. Top 2% rated.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow. Well, this is how you watch Bourbon Soak Live, y'all. Caviar and wine. Me, I'm some fucking hobo who's just sitting here swilling whiskey practically out of the bottle. Sweet.
You're high class.
We're living it up here in New Orleans. So that's what you do, y'all. You take your photos, you post them to Twitter using hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. And while you're at it, click the fucking like button.
Ooh, click the like button and subscribe. And share on social media. And tell me I'm pretty.
You're pretty. You're so pretty. You're
Thanks.
So pretty.
Thank you.
You're cute. So cute. And click the fucking like button. So what do you say, y'all? Let's start talking about things that are sick and twisted, because I am so in the mood to get a little depraved tonight.
Oh, like that's different than any other day?
Well, I'm just a little bit more in the mood to be depraved tonight. So we're going to be covering all sorts of different areas of things that are sick and twisted. So make sure you share yours in the chat so we can talk about them. Again, this is really just for fun, y'all. We're not talking seriously. We're just talking for fun. And with that in mind.
Oh, by the way, Ginger says there's a fucking like button.
Okay, seriously, Ginger, you know where it is. You know where the like button is. Don't make me come over there and break your finger off and punch it for you.
And Swami from Malta to Montreal says, clicked woman.
Oh, Swami's here. Yay.
Awesome.
I see Mike Meyer is also here, which is excellent. Well, the gang's all here. All right, sick and twisted. I thought we'd open up the show talking a little bit about our fascination with serial killers.
You know what? Actually, we have a serial killer story, which is weird.
I have several, but which one is yours?
Well, we worked to get a serial killer on your podcast, if you remember.
Right. I totally forgot about that. We almost got him too.
No, it wasn't that we almost got him, that we kind of bailed on it because it was going to be a little bit more work than we thought, but because he's in jail as a serial killer.
Yes. So we wanted to have the Son of Sam.
Son of Sam. Yeah.
We were working very hard to try and get him on the show.
And we could have got him, by the way.
But it's such a long and complicated process to get somebody in prison on a media event. You have no idea the amount of hoops you have to jump through. And here's also kind of the complication. Actually, I wouldn't call it a complication. However, in jail, he found religion.
Yes.
So he's no longer the Son of Sam. They call him the Son of Light. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about mayhem. Is that wrong?
Right.
I mean...
No, I think you're right. You know, and the reason why I think that we bailed on him more than anything else was that it wasn't going to be the time it was going to take to get him on the show. But it was he going to want to discuss his past in that way?
Yes. And I mean, admittedly, I'm not Diane Sawyer, so it would have been a lighthearted interview. It certainly wasn't going to be hard hitting, but still, the whole process of trying to get somebody on was just way too complicated. We abandoned.
Yeah. That's my only serial killer story.
Well,
sorry.
I have a serial killer story. So I used to live in Chicago, and that's also
that was 2 months ago. You make it sound like it was forever.
In my mind, I've written that shit city off. So Chicago is very close to Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is the home of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, you do have a Dahmer story. I forgot about that.
I do, yeah. And I had a friend who was very active in the gay community in Wisconsin, and Jeffrey Dahmer hit on him one night at a club.
Ooh, man, talk about dodging a bullet.
Yeah. Now, at the time, he didn't know it was Jeffrey Dahmer, obviously. But once the stories broke and the guy, came to light, my friend had a full-on meltdown because this guy, Jeffrey Dahmer, was seriously, aggressively pursuing him. Wow. Which is just, when you think about it, doesn't that just like really fuck with your head? I mean, knowing that you were this close to being...
Yeah, a head refrigerator.
Being a body part in a refrigerator. Yes.
Speaking of heads in the refrigerator, the shape's here.
Oh, yay, the shape is here. So I see, let's see, Will has joined us, and he says, have you heard about the glove guy in Halifax? He's still out there and pretty creepy.
Never
heard that. The glove guy. One. So what does he do? Sneak in and,
Is there lubrication on that glove?
I mean, please tell me he lubes up and he doesn't do like a shocker or something like that.
Exactly. You have Not a Great Gamer joined us.
Not a Great Gamer. I see Container Man has joined us as well. So cheers to you, Container Man. Thanks for being here. He says,
hello, gorgeous redhead. Hey, I didn't dye my hair. I'm still brown over here, Ron. So
this is why you're not allowed on camera anymore.
I know. Sorry.
So I also, when I was a kid...
You have a second serial killer?
I have dozens of serial killer stories because we're talking Sick and Twisted tonight. And I've always been fascinated by people who commit crimes. And we're talking not just like petty larceny, but like deep, dark crimes. And I'm not a true crime junkie or anything like that. I'm not going to do a podcast about it. But every so often, I just get this like kind of
you go into wormholes.
Tingly fascination, a little, wormhole diving, and I'm curious. And when I was a kid, I also had the same curiosity, but we didn't have social media or the internet then. So I started writing letters to guys in prison.
Right. You did.
I did. Yeah. You could seek pen pals out through personal ads in the newspaper. For me, I found them in rock and roll magazines like Metal Edge and a bunch of other publications had these giant personal sections in the back. So I just started writing to prisoners until my parents found out about it.
I'm making a correction because Container Man called me out. Yes, we understand it's not Ron, it's Roy.
Oh, whatever.
So we missed it by one letter because we're assholes.
It starts with an R.
It starts with a row.
I see Ralph's Trucking says, I always heard redheads don't know how to party. Who are you talking to?
Oh, my God. Obviously you haven't been to our house.
Right? I mean, you haven't seen my arrest record. And so Will is explaining about the gloved man. He picks up young guys to give them rides home between 2 and 4 a.m. and acts creepy while trying to get them to try on leather gloves he's made. Has he made these gloves out of human skin?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Because that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's your kind of fun.
I'll tell you, one of the most fascinating scenes from a horror movie that I saw, it was called The House That Jack Built. And this is one of those movies that perfectly combines absurd humor with just absolute depravity. You saw this, didn't you?
I did.
It's by Lars von Trier, who also did things like Antichrist and other sort of really, dark movies. But two scenes in particular I absolutely love. The first is where he accidentally starts dragging a dead body behind him in his car. And there's this line of red going down the highway. And he's thinking, fuck, I'm caught. And then it starts raining. It was beautiful. I mean, talk about just divine intervention to help you murder somebody.
Oh, and Drone Kings and Darwin says, I think I saw a ghost in that last dentist commercial, David, the producer. Glad the shape is here to tell us if it's real or not.
Eat a giant bag of dicks.
Well, I don't know what dental commercial he's talking about, but I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time. and we're still paying.
Sound familiar? If it does, I have great news for you. The Reassurance Dental Card is now available in your area.
I can't help myself. I just can't. I'm sorry.
So in honor of David the producer, I'm going to call out a comment left by Anthony Redneck Way of Life, who says he's digging a well in the basement and needs a new skin suit. Hey, guess what? I know somebody we can put down there. Does this rag smell like chloroform, David the producer?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and hey, we have a brand new Bourbon Soak Live if you want to go to it.
Hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. We have a new meme created by the lovely Ginger.
You ready for it?
I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
Hold, please.
Holding as you press all the buttons. Keep pressing. Come on. There we go. A long, long time ago when I lived in Chicago. Yeah, I walked uphill to school and Coke was a nickel.
Cocaine was a nickel.
Seriously, Ginger, suck it.
I think that's the best.
Fuck Chicago. It was a million years ago as far as I'm
According
concerned.
to you.
It's useless. I've completely written it off. I have no problem writing shit off.
And by the way, Charles Ashworth says David the producer will now be a victim of a serial killer. So, yes, I agree. You're right.
Don't tell anyone.
So I want to know from the chat if anyone has any connections to serial killers or has a serial killer story, because I just find them fascinating.
Toyman says you need to get some new material.
Why do I need new material when I have this?
No.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time, and we're still paying.
Sound
Why do I need new material?
Right. So that's the end of that. David, the producer, is no longer with us. I see that Nancy Jones is here.
Nancy.
She says you best watch it. She has a big stick, and you can be the first one to get whacked with it. That sounds like fun. I like it. And that actually brings me up to other sick and twisted fantasies that people have. Me right now, it's murdering someone.
I don't know who that would be.
Injuring someone with a really large stick. That sounds like fun.
Oh my God.
But what others?
That was oddly specific.
Yes, well, we're talking sick and twisted fantasies now.
Alrighty then.
And that's what's going to be getting me off later.
Yeah, well.
Ralph's Trucking says, serial killer in Delaware dumped a body behind my stepmom's place before she married my dad.
Whoa. That's pretty crazy.
Ooh, that's terrifying. So who found the body?
Well, and my question is, who goes to Delaware?
Chickens. There are more chickens than people in Delaware.
That is a true statement.
That's a true statement. And
Yes.
it's also kind of terrifying because chickens are freaking creepy. Have you ever spent time with a chicken? You have.
Well, let's not get into it here on the podcast. I don't
Yes,
get into
chickens
that.
and fire trucks. Chickens are fucking weird. You can hold them and move their bodies all over the place, and their head just stays level. Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere. It's just level chicken head.
Oh, wait. You see what Anthony Redneck Way of Life says? Underneath that?
I would tell you a good one, but would blow my new ID, and the witness protection program is not what it used to be.
Yep.
Is the witness protection program still a thing?
Of course it is.
And do they really put
Yeah.
people in this and like squirrel them away somewhere?
Of course they do.
That's fascinating to me.
Well, it used to be, everyone knows about the mob stories and they place
True.
them in, different places around the country. But nowadays, it's a little bit different. it's not so much mob related people that they put in witness protection, but they put people that fear for their lives after people get out of jail, right? That have connections that they feel could be a problem.
But they don't put
political connections. Let's just say that.
It's not like you're going to Shangri-La, you're getting squirreled away in some little nut hut somewhere. I see, and you're going to have to forgive me because there's no way I can pronounce your handle here, but a person has said there are more sheep than people in New Zealand.
I believe that to be true.
How is that working out for the sheep?
Ooh, not so good.
I can't imagine it would.
Not so good.
Yeah.
C-Cup Dental Care. Ooh, Elder, good call.
You know what? Fuck you all. Tonight, I'm going to get myself off to the thought of all of y'all having something horrible done.
You see Ginger's comment?
Ginger says, one of my cousins found a dead body in a dumpster when we were like 12. I was not there, but we did hang out a ton. I don't know if the killer was caught or not. Wow. A friend of mine dated a guy who was beheaded, and a group of people I knew found his body.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend, Texas. She knew someone who she dated someone who was beheaded. Yeah. You'll have to ask her about it.
Yeah,
my girlfriend is coming to town.
She's coming to town at the end of the month.
At the end of the month, and it's going to be just a good old-fashioned house burning. We are going to tear this town apart.
You see Container Man's?
Container Man says you can cut off a chicken head and the body keeps running around for half an hour. I've heard that. I've never seen it. I'm sure YouTube can help me out with this, but that is just fucking awesome.
That's actually, I've seen that, and he's actually true. And I think it applies to hookers as well.
Are they smart enough?
Oh, Jesus.
I believe, but where I was going with this is I believe it applies to human bodies as well. I was reading somewhere
not half an hour. No, you can't run around for a half an hour without a head.
But isn't it true that with the guillotine, they chop a head off and the head can still see for like a little while after it's been cut off?
I don't know about that. I mean, the guillotine hasn't been around since, the 1800s.
Because
I think it'll.
Technically speaking, isn't it possible to sever someone's head but keep them consciously alive? I mean, that's the brain that wouldn't die, I know, but isn't that still kind of medically possible?
I don't know.
That's creepy. Ugh. Malton in Montreal says, after this show, I'm going to try and find a copy of Faces of Death online.
Swami, a lot of that has been that was all fabricated. Not all fabricated.
Chunk of it was, yes.
Some of it was stock that they put into the movie, stock video footage.
Yeah.
And some of it was stuff they fabricated, like the monkey brain stuff that actually wasn't a real thing, and a lot of the other stuff wasn't real. So Faces of Death was not. What you thought it was.
A new iteration of that online. What was it called? Like Running the Gauntlet or something like that?
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yes.
No, it was called like the Gauntlet. And it was a series of progressively more and more sick and twisted things to watch until you got to the very end of it.
I don't recall.
And it had all sorts of crazy stuff. Like it was like Faces of Death, just, ramped up exponentially until you got to the end. And it was pretty fucked up. I mean, I made it through to the end, but I can't say anything. And it was all that.
Not a Great Gamer corrects me and says, no, the last guillotine was in the 1970s.
No way. They had a guillotine in the fucking 70s?
I gotta look that one up.
Who was using it?
Elton John.
No. It might have been Texas. Here comes Juliette's new experiment. Off with David's head. If it's true, you can keep playing the dental commercial.
Right.
Now, I see Hot Sauce Junkie is here. Cheers to you, Tim. And says 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Oh, my God, that was nasty.
No, it wasn't. That was actually, I like to call it the Baskin Robbins of video.
Well, it wasn't exactly art.
No.
That was, okay. That was foul because there are certain things that just gross me out. And anything involving people vomiting really kind of squicks me out. Too much.
It was the vomiting that turned you off. It wasn't eating. Oh, God. It was the part before the vomiting that got me.
All of it. That whole thing was just really, really foul. But it's one of those things where once you've got it going, you cannot look away.
Yep.
You just get sucked into it. And I don't understand what defect I have in my brain that makes me do that. Ralph's Trucking says they hung someone in Delaware in the 90s.
Hanging was a thing, I think, in a couple of states up until 20 or 25 years ago is my recollection.
We just haven't been able to get the death penalty right in this country.
Nope.
And it's so stupid to me. Every time I hear somebody start up an argument saying that we need to bring back corporal punishment, if we can't murder someone correctly, how are we going to be able to do physical punishment? We're just not capable as human beings of doing these things properly.
We're not good at it. We're not going to. I mean, look what the electric chair is a perfect example.
It really is. It is.
They couldn't perfect that thing, and that thing would either just fry them partially, and they'd have to kill them in other means.
You need to commit to something
right
quick and effective, and we just haven't been able to figure out how to do that, and that's why we can't get.
We're not good at killing
correct.
people. Yeah, we're not good at killing people.
They just killed, or not. Well, they killed 2 people recently on death row using
federal crimes.
Yeah.
That was the first federal crime killing, or I shouldn't say killing, I should say execution, that they had in, I think it was at least 5 years, at least.
But apparently it went reasonably smoothly, which is a far cry better than the last time I read about it.
Hey, look, he's not twitching.
So Malton and Montreal is calling out something called the Pain Olympics.
The Pain Olympics. I am unfamiliar with this.
But I would love to learn more because fascination with pain, I mean, is it sexual? Is it, I need more clarification, please. Bring it on.
And Not a Great Gamer says they still hang in Japan. I did not know that.
They do all sorts of things.
Well, in the movies they do, the horror movie genre
more
than anybody.
For horror movies, I think the Asian-based horror movies probably do the most effective job of coming up with pain and torture sequences. I mean, I love a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but when you watch movies like Audition, I mean, anything from Takashi Miike, Imprint, those are just so artfully done. I mean, they genuinely add beauty to torture. It's crazy.
All right, then I got to call out Charles Ashworth. And by the way, not call out, but I want to read his, thing here. Yeah,
We're going there.
Go ahead. You read it.
He says, vomiting freaks you out, yet you'll crucify a dead rabbit.
And you did.
Yes, I did. I crucified a bunny rabbit.
Yes, you did. It was not alive. Let's be,
It was dead when I got to it.
That's what all serial killers say.
I was a kid. I was rebelling with a bunch of my other friends against some shitty parochial school that we were all in. It was a statement. It was a mockery. It was not,
Yeah, sure.
It was not serial killer tendencies.
The more you talk, the more you're, implicating
the more
yourself.
I'm digging myself into this.
And by the way, Wesley's here. Say hi to Wes.
Well, hey, Wes. Thanks
Hi,
for joining us. Tonight we're talking Sick and Twisted, and it's already completely rolling off the rails.
All right. Can I change the topic? Because
please do.
I find, and maybe this is just me, but I find sick and twisted humor to be the best kind of humor.
So, okay, I was doing a little research for this show, and when I was a kid, what was completely all the rage were dead baby jokes. We would crack ourselves up telling the grossest, most outrageous dead baby jokes. So I Googled it to see what I could find. And Google only gave me 2 pages of search results. And they all linked to some mom's petition to stop telling of dead baby jokes.
Yeah, you know what? Sick and twisted
Fuck you,
jokes
Google.
are still hysterical. I have one. Can I tell you one?
Please tell it.
All right. How many babies does it take to pave a driveway?
How many?
Depends how thin you slice them.
Okay, that was awesome. Well,
It's totally a dad joke. But
you know, that's what's so stupid about these dead baby jokes is that there's just their tongue-in-cheek play on word jokes. They're dad jokes. I don't know how this happened, but they are. Or the grosser than gross jokes. Who remembers those? What's grosser than gross?
What's grosser than gross? I don't know.
When a cheerleader does splits and sticks to the floor.
Ooh.
What's grosser than that?
I don't know.
When she gets up, there are 5 class rings on the floor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's grosser than that?
You got another one? You got a third? You got a trifecta? Okay, hit me with it.
When one of the rings is from her brother.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Grosser than gross, y'all. These are the best.
I've never heard the grosser than gross jokes.
We told them by the bucketful when we were kids. It was just the thing to do, and nobody cared. Or wait, what's grosser than gross?
I don't know.
2 vampires fighting over a used tampon.
Oh, I think I heard that one before. Okay.
So Elder is here, and he's asking what I'm drinking, and clearly I'm not drinking enough of it. Tonight I am drinking Uncle Nearest 1856. It's 100 proof. It's a blended whiskey of 8 and 14-year-old Tennessee whiskeys. It's just amazeballs.
Not a Great Gamer says, have those rings any value? I can hear him doing that as an English accent, and it makes it even funnier, really.
That is a legitimate question.
Have those rings any value?
And Charles Ashworth says, I'm sure the rabbit died from poor dental care. Fortunately, we all know where we can get some.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time, and we're still paying.
Sound
Bag of dicks, y'all. Just eat it.
Ah, yes. This is why I love your audience.
So, did you ever tell Helen Keller jokes?
Oh, yeah. Everyone has a good Helen Keller joke. Oh, wait. I have something in here in the chat from Swami. He says, a good old Uncle Nearest, the real Jack Daniels.
It's true. It's true. This is kind of the original Jack Daniels. It's where the formulation and the process came from.
Yep. Exactly. What's grosser than that?
Dentist commercials. Debbie Does Dental.
Debbie Does Dental.
The sequel. Well, Debbie, unfortunately, her career didn't quite pan out as she'd hoped, and she went from doing dental commercials to STD commercials.
That's right. Lucky you. Do you have you don't have a joke with that, do you?
What, with STDs?
No. Well, what you said before.
Oh, you mean Helen Keller jokes?
Helen Keller jokes. Yeah,
I do have a Helen Keller joke.
I don't remember the old school Helen Keller jokes.
Oh my God, there's a million of them. What did Helen Keller get for Christmas?
I don't know.
Polio. She had everything else.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think I heard that one before. That's a good one.
That one. What was the other one? How do you punish Helen Keller?
How?
Put her in a round room and tell her to stand in the corner.
Oh, I think I did hear that one. God, those are so bad. That's like that's total dad jokes.
There's such dad jokes now, but there's something about that just gross humor that will never cease to make me laugh. Clearly, I am an infant.
You are an infant.
I'm a dead baby. That's what I am.
You're a dental commercial chick. No, nothing. All right.
That landed.
I got to go. Yeah, that didn't land.
That landed real well. Thanks. Well done.
I got nothing.
Wes is asking, what can be said about the blind hooker?
Blind hooker?
Is that a joke?
I don't know.
I'm waiting for the punchline. Bob's Adventure says the greatest thing about Helen Keller jokes is she would never hear them.
Oh. Huh.
I don't know what it is about that. That just makes me giggle.
What's the matter with you?
Everything is the matter with me, including my eyeball.
At Juliette Miranda, career after the dental commercial, hosting Bourbon Soak Live, and the kid worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, serves him right. Little fuckwad telling me how to do my job.
What's wrong with that?
It's one of those things where you just really want to just dig your nails into somebody's eyeball.
What are the other sick and twisted things? I mean, we covered movies, we covered jokes, humor.
Well, I can tell y'all a secret.
Secret away.
So who's ever seen, a raise of hands in the chat, who's ever seen the movie A Serbian Film?
It's a very specific movie. I've seen it with you, but I don't think many people have.
I'll tell you that there's something about that movie that just intrigues me like you wouldn't believe. And there's this great scene. So essentially the setup to the movie is that this guy is an aging porn star, and he allows himself to be talked into making the ultimate artistic statement. And he's in for a lot more than he anticipated. But there's this scene where he's having sex with somebody, and then he takes this machete and has to cut the guy's head off while he's doing it. I love that scene. It's just so strikingly set up. It's just fun to watch and kind of, I don't know, kind of arousing in a weird way.
It's sick and twisted.
It is sick and twisted. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Yep, exactly. Read the chat.
I'm looking at it. Drone Kings in Darwin. That little fuckwad should have just drunk bourbon. He'd be in a different place now, right? Bourbon solves everything.
Bob's Adventure says, secret time.
And Elder says they have a gas chain named after Helen. Wah wah.
That's pretty damn funny. Wah wah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So Malton in Montreal says the sickest movie he's ever seen is Salo. I have to tell you, I was seriously disappointed in Salo. I thought it was going to be this perverse, mad bout of insanity, and the whole movie was just a bunch of butt jokes. Well, not butt jokes, but just like butt humor. I don't know. It did nothing for me.
I never saw it.
Salo was weak.
Oh, Malton or Montreal says so disturbing.
I did not find it disturbing in the least. I actually found it really kind of boring. Human Centipede. There's a fun movie, Bob's Adventure. Yeah, I loved the premise of it. You know, the idea of connecting people together for some perverse, experiment in fun.
It's pretty gross in its, there were 3 of them, and someone we had on the show was actually in one of them.
Eric Roberts
was in the 3rd one.
Which is not exactly something I think
it's not a good one. That's the prison one. That's not so good. But the first one, kind of, the concept was interesting. Then it got just weird and goofy.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of what happens with a lot of these seriously extreme horror movies is that ultimately they do start feeling way more absurd and silly than they do terrifying, because there's no way you can take all of this seriously. It's just almost eye candy. Malta de Montreal is not a fan of the Human Centipede. Thank you. And Whiskey Dictionary is here. Cheers to you. Says it's gross, yes, but the helplessness part is messed up. And yes, that's when you start looking into the psychology behind some of these things, or the experiences. That's where you start to get that weird, the insight into what people are thinking or feeling.
Oh, Stacey Morgan's here as well.
Stacey Morgan is here. Cheers, sir.
And Richie Z. Gang's all here.
The gang is all here. I love it, y'all. So this is my we'll say half full bottle of Uncle Nearest 1856.
Yep. Thanks to me.
Yes. Somebody was dipping into it a little hardcore.
See, Wesley just commented.
Says, I got a twisted joke for you. How many cops? No, we're not going to tell that one.
Probably not a good
I'm
idea.
skipping that one, Wes.
Yeah.
We'll leave
Wes-
it in the chat, but I'm not reading that one aloud.
Yeah, everyone in the chat can enjoy on your own terms.
And the room just got quiet. But I see Whiskey Dictionary is calling out the movie Hostel as being disturbing.
Great movie.
When I saw that movie, it was in the theater, and it was the first time in a long time that I'd felt almost dirty for watching something in public. That movie it was, at the time, it was just intense. I hadn't seen a lot of really extreme horror movies. So seeing it in the theater on the screen was huge for me. And it was just kind of a crazy sort of moment.
You know, the funny thing about him and his Hostel series, what's his name again? You know it.
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth. It's hit or miss because some of them are really good and some of them are just really
Malta de Montreal's calling out Green Inferno, and I'll tell you, that's one of my biggest disappointments in horror movies ever, because going into it there was all of this hype about how it was going to be an homage to Cannibal Holocaust, and I really feel like Eli Roth held the reins and dialed everything back. It just wasn't nearly as intense as it should have been. It wasn't an homage at all. It was really just a weak knockoff.
Whiskey Dictionary says, by the way, how do I get an off-screen hand to give me whiskey?
We all need that, right?
And Ginger says, Requiem for a Dream. There's a fucked up movie.
Ooh, that is a fucked up movie. That's one of those trippy sort of psychological drug-induced freakouts. That's one of the reasons why I don't like taking acid or mushrooms, is because I don't like that headspace. That definitely weirds me out.
Mm-hmm. See Wesley, one-eyed for Christmas. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God. Where are you getting these from, Wes?
Wes has a sick and twisted sense of humor. You gotta love it.
Elder says some psychedelic westerns are sick in the extreme. We saw a western recently that was fantastic. It was called Brimstone. It was grueling and relentless and excellent. You have to look it up yourself. It's extreme and brutal, but it's an excellent movie and really well acted too.
Yeah, it was great.
For the life of me, I can't remember the girl who plays the lead in it, but the story is told in a very interesting way. It's not linear. It kind of goes from one segment backwards and then to the present time. It's fascinating.
Oh, in Malta de Montreal, Swami says, I found Eraserhead boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, that movie is just not good. Well, it's not that it's not good. It's just not watchable.
Right.
I mean, once you get past, all the craziness going on, what are you left with? It's like, so I don't know if y'all watch Joe Bob Briggs, but he recently showed on The Last Drive-In the movie Tetsu the Iron Man, and it's one of these weird art house flicks where a guy is essentially turning to metal. And it really isn't a fun watch because it's just annoying. It's like watching a bad music video from the 90s from Tool. Where things are growing out of his skin, but it's accompanied by some heavy metal industrial soundtrack. It's just annoying.
Right. Yeah, it's more about the visuals than it is about the story.
I see we have a joke from the handle I cannot pronounce. It looks like Hegnate Tambuk Tynak? I don't know. But whatever. Says, what did one butt cheek say to the other butt cheek? Together we can stop this shit.
Oh, that's such a dad joke.
Such a dad joke. I love it. And Whiskey Dictionary is very kind in reminding y'all to hit the fucking like button.
Thumbs up. Share it. Do whatever you need to do.
2 severed thumbs up.
2 severed thumbs up. That works out perfect. And Richie Z says, how about the Butterfly Effect? Did you like that movie?
I don't remember the Butterfly Effect.
I believe the Butterfly Effect, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, Richie Z, but isn't that with Keanu Reeves? I think it is.
It may be.
I think it is.
I don't know, but I see that Charles Ashworth is called out Bone Tomahawk.
That was a good movie.
Amazing movie.
Damn good movie.
That is an excellent movie. And that has Kurt Russell in it. And he plays such a good character in that. It's just really raw. It feels very real, very visceral. But not, I mean, it's intense, but not gory. Just a strong movie all around. And
it's Ashton Kutcher. I'm sorry.
What's the difference?
Yeah, they're both the same guy. They're both headless. they're nuts. They're what I like to call unsmart.
Oh, Wes is calling out one of my favorite kinds of jokes.
What's that?
What do you call a man with no arms and no legs in the ocean?
Bob.
Bob.
What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs in front of your door?
Matt.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know why that makes me so happy.
I know. What do you call two guys with no arms and no legs on your wall?
What?
Kurt and Rod. Isn't that awful?
What do you call a guy with no arms and legs on your wall?
What?
Art.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I don't even know why I asked why.
Art. Malton in Montreal is calling out Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Awesome movie.
You know what? It
Awesome.
Doesn't hold up as well as I would hoped it would have, because we just saw it recently.
I actually feel like it does. It has this very gritty reality to it, which I just feel like so many modern movies are lacking. I really like to feel like I'm just kind of observing somebody's everyday experience.
Somebody's degradation.
And yes, I enjoy that. I don't know why, but I do.
Because you're sick and twisted.
I am sick and twisted. Y'all, I will tell you this right now. I am so sick and twisted. I love it. It just feels good to be sick and twisted.
That's what you do.
Cheers to that. Oh, what do you call a man with no arms and no legs tied to a tire?
Roland.
Roland.
I love it.
Awesome. So, y'all. Now I have the giggles. You've been watching Bourbon Soak Live.
Ooh, can I tell them about what's going on my channel on Saturday, Friday and Saturday?
Please do, while I control myself.
Absolutely. So we got some really cool stuff coming up. So on the David the Producer channel on Friday night, we have Fee Waybill from the band The Tubes. He's the lead singer from that. He's got a brand new album out, and he's coming on my show on Friday night. And then Saturday midday,
yes,
we have the lead singer from the band Yes on, John Anderson.
And a special guest.
And a super special guest at the last 15 minutes, and I can't say who it is, but it's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be a blast.
It'll be on the David the Producer YouTube channel. So
yes.
You want to look up his channel and subscribe, because we post all of our cool kind of
it's like underground
stuff.
Interviews.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you definitely want to check it out. It's very cool. It's very fun. And I want to thank everybody who's been watching the show tonight. Malton in Montreal. Oh, Elder, who called out Nymphomaniac 1 and 2. Very disturbing set of movies there. Wes, Whiskey Dictionary, Whiskey Crusaders, Charles Ashworth, Patrick Fulmer, Blended
Everybody,
Whiskey, Ginger and Will,
Container Man,
Toy Man, Wes, Wheels,
Nancy,
who was the first one in the chat, of course.
Wheels.
It's been great chatting with y'all. I love it when you put up with my sick and twisted nonsense. Thank you for that. Next week, we're going to have a little bit more of a lighthearted episode. We'll be talking about summer vibes.
What the hell does that mean?
Summer vibes? Oh my God, we're talking about all the best parts of summer, from bikinis and, getting a tan.
All right.
And
all
summer
right.
music.
I'm listening.
All of your favorite summertime stuff we're going to be talking about next Monday night.
And don't forget about Drunk Kings in Darwin. You got Jimmy C. and Stacy Morgan that was here tonight too.
Well, all right. Cheers, y'all. Thanks for being here. And make sure you come back next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central.
Wes.
Yes, I called out Wes.
Did you?
Yes.
I'm a moron. Okay,
Stop
go
talking
ahead.
over me. Who's the host? Who's the host?
I'm the co-host.
I'm Debbie. Debbie, damn it.
Hold on. Who?
Oh, fuck me.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time, and we're still paying.
Sound familiar?
I love my job.
Fucking done. All right, y'all. It's been a blast. Cheers, y'all.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.